Kelantan Sultan to be our next king. Human Rights Commission checks Kelantan forest blockade. I'm Natasha Hussain and you're watching Cuppa News. The Conference of Rulers has elected Kelantan ruler Sultan Muhammad V as Malaysia's 15th Yang di-Pertuan Agong. Keeper of the Rulers, Seal Datuk Sri Said Daniel Said Ahmad said the appointment of the Sultan of Kelantan would take effect on December 13th for a period of 5 years. Perak ruler Sultan Nazrin Shah was elected the next deputy Yang di-Pertuan Agong. The current Yang di-Pertuan Agong, Tuanku Abdul Halim Muazzam Shah, the Sultan of Kedah, will end his 5-year term on December 12th. Meanwhile, Johor Sultan Ibrahim Sultan Iskandar released a statement saying that he declined the offer to be the next king to make way for the Sultan of Kelantan. The statement was posted on the Johor Southern Tigers Facebook page. In a comment response on its posts, the account clarified that the process is usually a rotation system, but all the other rulers had wanted the Johor Sultan to be the next Agong. The voting by the 9 rulers is a secret ballot, and a candidate must receive at least 5 votes to be named as the next Yang di-Pertuan Agong. Human rights lawyer Kimberly Motley was adamant on meeting the Prime Minister to help secure her client Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim's release, but that meeting was simply not meant to be. Motley has been in Malaysia for several weeks to visit Anwar in jail and attend a review of his second sodomy conviction. During her visit to the PM's office Friday morning, Motley was told that the Premier had a busy schedule and was unable to meet her. She did not have an appointment with Datuk Sri Najib Tun Razak, although Motley said she had sent a letter to the PM's office, which had been acknowledged.
So, we'll see what happens. Obviously, you all know better than I do how very important this case is. I can't say it enough how important Anwar's case is internationally. My job is really to focus on, obviously trying to help secure his release. I'm hoping that within the next couple weeks that there will be some time in his schedule for me to personally meet him. It's important for him to hear what we have to tell him. So we'll see what happens.
Anwar is serving a 5-year sentence at the Sungai Buloh prison for sodomizing his former aide Muhammad Saiful Bukhari Azlan in 2008. Meanwhile, Pandan MP and National Oversight and Whistleblower or now Chief Rafizi Ramli said his office was raided by officers from the company's Commission of Malaysia at 11 a.m. Friday without formal written notice. Rafizi said the officers had demanded access to NOW's financial records, and since they did not have the notice, they had failed to comply with standard operating procedures to carry out their duties. The MP added that the Commission wanted to ensure NOW complied with the Companies Act. Rafizi said he will not give access until there is formal written notice. As the deadline for the filing of objections to the Election Commission's proposed redelineation exercise ends today, MCA has submitted more than 30 objections, while 5 local authorities in Selangor also filed theirs. MCA President Datuk Sri Liao Tiong Lai said Selangor MCA alone had filed over 10 objections and the party would submit its recommendations to the EC soon. The 5 authorities in Selangor are Petaling Jaya and Shah Alam City Councils and Subang Jaya, Ampang Jaya and Kajang Municipal Councils. Meanwhile, Bersih 2.0 Chief Maria Chin Abdullah said she would apply to the High Court for leave to initiate judicial review proceedings to challenge the redelineation. She said her move would also be done on behalf of voters in the Petaling Jaya Utara parliamentary constituency who are against the redelineation. The Star's R.AGE team has been making waves with its Predator in My Phone series. Today, they took it to a whole new level, kicking off a campaign called #MPs Against Predators. Launched via Facebook live stream, the team was joined by their campaign ambassadors.
Hi! Welcome to our first live stream of the day. Today is our launch of MPs Against Predators, where we'll be calling MPs to push for laws against sexual grooming. So throughout the day, we'll have various guests like our campaign ambassador Lisa Surihani, Said Azmi, the gorgeous Marian Tan. And as you can see over here, we have my personal hero, Datin Paduka Marina Mahathir.
So we're gonna
All
give
right.
a call right now.
Let's hope it worked.
So basically, YB, as you know, sexual grooming is the leading cause of sexual abuse in Malaysia today, and we need to make it illegal. So are you in with us in this cause?
Yes, absolutely. Malaysia needs laws against sexual grooming, and I support this MPs Against Predators campaign. And I'll come on board, and I hope other MPs will do so as well.
Sexual grooming is actually a long process that they actually wait to be accepted in a community before they actually say something. It can be mental, it can be physical, it can be verbal. So, but it's all called grooming. And surprisingly or not surprisingly, we do not have such laws about these actions that is more vulnerable because it affects everyone.
Yeah, so for our MPs Against Predators campaign, what we'll be doing is getting our members of parliament to vote and talk about sexual grooming during the next parliament session, which is convening this Monday. Marina, can you show us how we'll do that?
Sure. Just take your phone and go to predator.my. That's what it looks like. And then scroll down. There's a whole write-up on what this is all about. And then you get to a point where it says influence your MP. And you can, if you don't know who your MP is, and why not, you can just click on it, and there's a space there for you to type in your constituency or MP name, and I'm assuming you know at least that, because otherwise I don't know. If you don't know your constituency and don't know your MP, what do you do?
Well, you scroll down a little bit more where there'll be a map.
Okay.
Yeah.
Suhakam commissioners visited a blockade set up by the Kelantan State Forestry Department that was allegedly stopping people from bringing food and medicine into the Bala Forest Reserve, which is home to hundreds of Orang Asli in Gua Musang. Patrick Lee reports.
Suhakam Commissioner Gerald Joseph came here just before noon Friday after hearing about the matter. The forestry blockade was set up by the department after local Orang Asli set up their own blockade to stop loggers from going in and out of the forest. Some of the local Orang Asli claimed that the department was not allowing cars, some carrying food, to go past the blockade.
Walaupun lepas Jabatan Perhutanan lakukan blockade, ya kami terhalang beberapa akses lah, termasuk untuk hantar pesakit dan bantuan makanan daripada NGO lah, termasuk bekalan ubat-ubatan juga, sebab di dalam blockade sekarang cuaca panas, jadi jalan berdebu. Jadi banyak yang sakit, lelah, demam, selsema. Jadi mereka tak dapat rawatan yang sepatutnya lah sebab kami dihalang.
I think in our discussion with them, what they told us, as far as my staff from Suhakam, is that this is an administrative provision in the law that it's supposed to be not a blockade. It's supposed to check entry in and out because you need permit to go in, which is true. So we're happy to go in. We'll verify whatever information and we'll come back and also have a discussion with them.
The Kelantan State Forestry says that they're not stopping anyone with food from coming in and out of the jungle. However, local Orang Asli have complained that those with food coming in four-wheel drives or cars are stopped at this blockade. Cut off from the rest of the world and with fears of supplies running out, the Orang Asli hope that this road, now closed, will be open once more. I'm Patrick Lee, reporting for the Star TV.
Leaders and people from all over the world offered their deepest condolences as Thailand entered a one-year period of mourning following the death of their beloved monarch, King Bhumibol Adulyadej. The Thai community in Los Angeles, the United States, were grief-stricken over King Bhumibol Adulyadej's passing.
You see, King, they're helping everybody, helping the poor, everything, you know. So you never find a king like our Thai king.
My king passed away, so I was like so depressed. And I talked to my twin, she was crying at that time.
In Tokyo, Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe and Thai nationals signed a condolence book at the Royal Thai Embassy.
進めができないぐらいですね。なんかもう自分の家族がいなくなるみたいな気持ち。 지분 오야가 이나코나 룸디타노 키모지데.
Oh, very regret when I know the news yesterday. I think we should be in Thailand, but it cannot.
タイ王室、タイ国政府、そしてタイ国民の皆様に謹んで哀悼の意を表したいと思います。そしてこの比類なき悲しみの中で、我々の祈りと思いはすべてのタイ国国民の皆様と共にあります。
While in Thailand, newspaper headlines were emblazoned with news of Bhumipon's demise. Thais gathered at the palace, the Sirara Hospital, and places of worship to offer prayers. Prime Minister Prayuth Chan-o-cha and his cabinet members also paid their respects to the king. Bhumipon was the world's longest reigning monarch and had been in poor health for several years. His remains were transported from the Sirara Hospital to the palace in the afternoon. Crown Prince Maha Vajiralongkorn is expected to be the new king. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Datuk Sri Najib Tun Razak told reporters after attending an event at UiTM in Shah Alam that Malaysia would send its highest representative to attend Bhumipon's funeral.
We're looking at the details of the funeral arrangement. Yet to be informed because there's period of mourning and also the certain time and date allotted to world leaders. But in principle, we have to send representation at the highest level.
Bhumipon's first and only state visit to the then Malaya was in June 1962. He visited Kuala Lumpur, the Chetawan Thai Buddhist temple in Petaling Jaya, Tanah Rata, and other places. It's just another 3 weeks until America votes, and Donald Trump is slumping in opinion polls amid numerous sexual assault allegations. Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton said the stakes seem to get higher every day in her race for the White House.
But this is such an election between two very different visions, views, and sets of values. And that's why the stakes are so high, because we know, we've already learned who Donald Trump is. What we have to prove in this election is who we are and what we stand for.
President Barack Obama said Donald Trump simply proves himself unfit to be president every time he speaks. While Obama's wife said Trump is a powerful person who speaks freely about sexual predatory behavior and uses obscene language that should not be heard by children. The Republican presidential nominee has denied sexual assault allegations against him.
We already have substantial evidence to dispute these lies, and it will be made public in an appropriate way and at an appropriate time very soon. But let me state this as clearly as I can. These attacks are orchestrated by the Clintons and their media allies.
The New York Times had reported that 2 women had endured sexual aggression from Trump, and several other women also made similar allegations in other media outlets. In China, the last person jailed for the Tiananmen Square protests in June 1989 is set to walk free on Saturday. Miao Deshun, a factory worker from Hebei province, was initially sentenced to death for arson after throwing a basket onto a burning tank. But his sentence was commuted to a life sentence and through the years reduced, and this year 11 years was cut off his jail time for good behavior. No photos exist of Miao, but he is now 51 and is said to suffer from schizophrenia and hepatitis B, as well as being so emaciated that guards found it unnecessary to shackle him. Over 1,600 protesters were jailed following the Tiananmen protests calling for political reform. Former Portuguese Prime Minister António Guterres has been appointed as the 9th UN Secretary-General for a 5-year term beginning January 1, 2017. He will replace Ban Ki-moon, who steps down after serving 2 terms.
What was said about Syria is true for Yemen, is true for South Sudan, and so many other crises in the world. And I will be doing my best during these 2.5 months to prepare myself in order to be able to recognizing the difficulties, the problems, the divisions, but to act as a convener, an honest broker.
The ever-expanding Harry Potter universe has gotten a whole lot bigger. Author J.K. Rowling announced on Thursday that there will be 5 movies from the Potter spin-off franchise Fantastic Beasts. The first of the movies, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, will open in cinemas on November 18th. And that's our daily serving of Cuppa News. Have an awesome weekend.